Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 7 of the Esports Masters League on the PlayStation tiers. Of course, we are here for F2 around the fantastic Bahrain International Circuit. My name is, of course, Michael Edwards, going to be taking you through the action here tonight in F2. Doing a bit of double duty tonight, so we will be jumping into F1 later as well, but yeah, that is in an hour's time, of course. For right now, though, it's all about F2. And let's have a look at the track in which we will be going racing at. Of course, it is the Shakir circuit in Bahrain. Of course, the 5.4 kilometer, 3.3 mile track in length. 3 DRS zones, one down towards turn number 1, one in towards turn number 4, and one in towards turn number 11. And of course, it is 15 corners to navigate for all these drivers here tonight, and it's going to be an interesting one to see who is going to come out on top. Of course, Bahrain can be very tricky, especially in that turn 9, turn 10 complex right there. And of course, climbing up the hill, the elevation changes coming through 11, 12 can also be a little bit treacherous as well. But are we going to get any duels in the desert? I wonder. That is going to be the big question here tonight. And of course, we will be having a quick recap of what happened last week. Of course, the driver lineup here for tonight. Of course, LDL coming in with Kurumi and obviously Plex. GT10 coming in with Vita and Quartz. RVL coming in with Alexinho and obviously Thomas Leo. LRN coming in with Casper and Thomas, with QSL coming in with Choski and obviously this is going to test my pronunciation skills. Rusumko. I do apologize if I've absolutely butchered your name, mate. I do apologize, but I am only a humble Welshman. TGF coming in with Lucas and Leonardo, and of course EXT coming in with YCN and Dylan. RSL coming in with Nordic Ninja and Nico, and of course DLX coming in with Pablo and of course Tiger. And of course, having a look at what happened last week in Baku, it was of course Nico for LDL that did take victory with a double EXT podium with Nam and Duncan there joining Nico on the podium. And what that has done in terms of the championship standings here in Formula 2, it is, of course, LDL that leads the way on 203 points. So the first team to break the 200-point barrier is LDL Esports. Extoria in P2, 11 points off, and of course they're on 192 points. 185 points for Grand Track 10, of course GT 10, they're currently in third. And of course we got Team Rising Lions in fourth place on 171. 157 points for Team G Force, TGF there in P5. RVL Esports in 6th place with LRN Esports in 7th. Team ESRL in 8th place, and I don't believe they have a lineup here tonight, and I definitely know they don't have a lineup here tonight, but they're currently in 8th place on 64 points. 63 points for QSL Esports, so only 1 point behind ESRL, and a great opportunity for them to climb up into P8 in the championship. And of course Deluxe Esports, they're in 10th place, and of course they are kind of they are kind of languishing right now in P10, but with Team ESRL not here tonight, an opportunity for them to climb up the order. And of course, let's have a look at the point system here in the Esports Masters League. Of course, is 30 points for race win, 25 points for second place, 20 points for third, 17 for fourth, and then of course fifth place gets 15 points, and it goes down in increments of 1 all the way down to P19 that gets 1 singular point. And of course, with there being 18 drivers here tonight, as long as you finish the race, you are guaranteed 2 points at the minimum. Of course, there's a point as well for fastest lap, so of course that will be one that everyone will be looking out for. But yeah, LDL doing the business right now this season so far. They are currently leading the way, and with 3 race wins to their name over the course of the season and 5 podiums in total, they are the team in form. Of course, GT10 obviously with 5 podiums as well for them. I mean, they've been having a great season so far, but the 1 race win has probably let them down just a little bit. Astoria with 4 podiums, and of course a race win for them. And of course, G4 stay with a win and 2 podiums. So it'll be interesting to see what they are going to be able to do here tonight. Of course, we are waiting to get readied up and underway here in Bahrain. And of course, Bahrain, a track which does allow for a lot of close action, a lot of good battles through Bahrain. And of course, infamously, it is the track where we saw the duel in the desert between the 2 Mercedes drivers many years ago. So we're just waiting for the green light now to go ahead and jump into qualifying. But again, while we wait, let's have another little look at the track in question. Of course, in Shakir, 5.4 kilometers, 3.3 miles an hour, 15 corners, 3 DRS zones. As previously mentioned, 1 in turn 1, 1 in towards turn number 4, and 1 in towards turn number 11. In terms of overtaking opportunities, turn number 1 being the main one, of course, and then you can have a second bite of the cherry to have a little go in towards turn number 4. We could be seeing some side-by-side action through the S's in the start of the middle sector from turn 5 to the hairpin at turn 8. Definitely an opportunity for a lunge down the inside in towards the hairpin at turn number 8. Turn number 9 and 10 going to be key for these guys when it comes to the making sure you don't lock up the front tires. Of course, infamously, you do always lock up there through 9 and 10. And then, of course, the DRS zone down in towards turn number 11, another overtaking opportunity. And obviously a bit more side-by-side action as you climb up the hill through 12 and 13. Turn number 14 as well could provide a cheeky little overtaking opportunity, but we'll have to wait and see if any of the drivers are going to be taking full advantage of that. And yeah, I think just waiting for confirmation when we are about to get underway. But guys, I want to know in the chat right now, who do you guys predict for the race win here tonight? Is it going to be another LDL victory? Will it be EXT? Can GT10 get a race win here in Bahrain? And yeah, we'll have to wait and see as we are, I believe, well, we have 18 drivers in right now. I'm not too sure what the hold up is in terms of getting the lobby underway. I'm looking to see if we have a confirmation of a delayed start. I am not really seeing any confirmation of a delayed start right now, but we'll have to wait and see. 18 drivers in. Again, shall we have a look at the drivers that will be lining up here tonight? Of course, again, it is Karami and Plex for LDL, Vita and Quartz for GT10, Alexino and Thomas Leo for RVL, LRN being represented by Casper and Thomas, with QSL, Chosky and Hurumsko. I have absolutely butchered that name again. I do apologize. Hurumko. I can only apologize. I can only apologize, my friend. I can only apologize. Lucas and Leonardo there for for G-Force, and of course YCN and Dylan for EXT. Nordic Ninja and Nico for RSL, and of course Pablo and Tiger for DLX. And of course in the chat right now we have the man, the myth, the legend, James Head himself, and of course we have Maxine there as well, saying hello, how are you? But it looks like we are now going to be getting into the action here in qualifying in just a moment's time. So we'll go back to that for later on. But yeah, we will be jumping over now to the qualifying session. Guys, in the chat right now, let's get the predictions in. Who do we think is going to be taking the race win here tonight? I mean, a lot of interesting combination of drivers out there. To be honest, I am going to be a little bit puzzled on who I think will win this, but we will find out together. And let's have a little prediction on what we think the pole position time is going to be, as we are now out there in qualifying, and it is now just getting underway here. As James in the chat saying massive appreciation to Mike for going solo tonight, enabling us to get both streams with OBS. Absolutely, and of course that is one thing that we do like to do here at LeagueRacingTV, is make sure we can provide all of the action as best as possible. Of course, the OBS side of things, hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, the stream holds, because I have had a little bit of issues as of late, but hopefully it will stay as it is. Of course, in terms of the steward's office, looking at what we had here post Baku, of course it is a qualifying ban for Team G-Force for 3 reprimands. So unfortunately for them, they're going to have to take a qualifying ban here tonight. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long race for Team G-Force. That is for sure. Both of them already out of the session. And we're going to go on board with... Nordic Ninja, who is the man who is furthest at the track on the outlap, and of course we will get rid of the timing tower, and we'll give you the full in-depth view of how he's going to approach this circuit. Now coming through turn number 13, and this is where he's just going to be getting himself psyched up to go on his fast lap. In terms of a qualifying lap around here, I'm thinking we could get potentially into the 20. Well, we have. I'm predicting obviously 27s to be the target, but maybe if someone nails a lap, they could go a bit quicker. But here comes Nordic Ninja now with DRS wide open, coming on the start finish line to begin his flying lap. Going to be cycling himself up now, ready for the first braking zone where you can really lose it immediately. And Nordic Ninja gets the car slowed down, turned in nice on the traction, and a little cut of turn number 2 to open himself up through turn number 3. DRS wide open once again as we run down in towards the break-in for turn number 4. Waiting for the 100-meter board down into 4th gear, going through the right-hander, and now of course into turn number 5. Into the S's of 6 and 7, and it's all about momentum through there, because it really does set you up nicely for turn number 8 at the hairpin, where of course there is an overtaking opportunity there. Now the double left-hander of turn 9 and 10. Very easy to lock up the tyre, as you just saw there with Nordic Ninja, just getting a little bit of a lock-up, but getting the car rotated well. And with DRS and a little bit of a tow up ahead, Nordic Ninja is going to be flying down in towards turn number 11. 5th gear, dropping it down into 4th there, as soon as he hit the apex, he went through 4th gear as we go through turn number 12, now climbing up the hill, breaking down in towards turn number 13, clipping the inside curb and using quite a bit of the exit. And yeah, Nordic Ninja now in towards turn number 14, and of course the final corner of 15, not really a corner, it's like an extension of 14, but here we go, DRS open to the line, and it's going to be a 28.3 from Nordic Ninja, puts himself up on the provisional pole for the time being. As we're going to see who else is going to be coming across the line now. Obviously, Thomas going up in the P2 at 29.3 for him. So a second off Nordic Ninja. Maybe I did overestimate the times, because I did, in terms of me personally running on this lap, I haven't actually done too much laps on this circuit, but it is going to be a 29 flat for Casper, so I think we'll definitely get into the 27s at some point, but yeah, I thought we would have been in them immediately. But look at that, Kurumi, they're up into provisional pole with a 28 flat for him, and we're on board right now with Vita, who does have a bit of support in the chat for himself and Quads. So Team GT10 having a bit of fandom here in qualifying and in F2, which we do love to see. Going through turns 9 and 10 with Vita now, as he looks to get the best traction possible with DRS now running down towards turn number 11, using all the track possible on the entry in towards turn number 11 as we climb up the hill now in towards turn number 12, keeping his foot in the middle sector, and he just overstepped the boundaries. Vita just overstepping the track limits, and of course that is going to be an invalidation there for the GT10 driver. Thomas has just started his lap, so we'll come back on board with him in just a moment's time. As we got Rum now coming through turn 13 on the run down now in towards turn number 14, and let's see if the QSL driver can get himself up the order. Of course his teammate yet to set a lap time as well, and that is of course Chowski, and it's going to be P9 for Rum here, as we got Plex coming through the final corner now. And what can Plex do for LDL? Will it be a front row lockup for him? No, it will not. So Nordic Ninja there splitting the two LDL drivers, and it is checkerboard right now. LDL RLS, LDL RLS, as we got the Dulux Esports team here with Tiger in 5th place, Alexino in 6th, and of course we have, that was LRN Thomas there popping up into P5 there, so a good lap from him. As we have Quats out there on a lap right now. Dylan coming to the end of his lap. We got Chowski now to the line, and he is going to be setting his first lap, goes to P11, and we're going to go back on board with Quads now in the middle sector. So 6.6 in the middle sector, purple middle sector there for Quads, and I think that's got more to do with personal best rather than the overall sector times as we come through the final two corners. Now it's going to be a Quads for GT10. Can he get himself onto the front row as he approaches the line, and he goes up to P3 at 28.4 for a Quad. So right now the first round of laps underway, and it is LDL Kurumi there up into provisional pole position, 3 attempts clear, and Nordic Ninja currently on the front row with him for Rising Lions. Obviously it is confirmed there will be a lobby restart after qualifying, which of course we absolutely love to see, of course, as it does allow the drivers to make sure that make sure they get themselves prepared for the race, gives them an extra minute or two to get that preparation in. But of course, one thing I will remind every driver, obviously, when it is a lobby restart, please remember your setups, because once you load back in, there's nothing worse than being stuck with a default setup when you're in a competitive race. That is for sure. Nordic Ninja is about to get his second lap underway as we got about 9.5 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Nordic Ninja currently in P2, needs to find minimum 3 attempts to take that provisional pole away from Kurumi. As Kurumi right now at 28.0, we need to be seeing some 27s here, and Nordic Ninja is going to be getting us underway for the second run of laps here. Coming down the start, finish straight in towards turn number 1. Nordic Ninja looks at the brake and gets the car slowed down, gets it rotated. A little bit of a slide on the rear end as he went through the apex of turn 1, but able to keep it together quite nicely there with DRS wide open now in towards turn number 4. Fourth gear there for Nordic Ninja as he uses all the track possible on the exit, just about keeps it all valid, and 400ths of a second up on his previous lap time. Needs to find more though. Middle sector, that's where he's going to find it. All about traction, all about car placement around this middle sector as he comes through turn number 10. And honestly, that kind of worked out well for Nordic Ninja. He did have a bit of a slide through turn 10, but it kind of worked for him. He got the car rotated a little bit quicker as we run down now in towards turn number 11. Fourth gear, the gear choice here for Nordic Ninja as we climb up the hill now in towards turn number 12. And of course the middle sector split, 2.5 temps up. But he does run a little bit wide through 13. Not an ideal line there for Nordic Ninja, but he will keep his foot in all the way to the final braking zone of 14. Throws the car in, clips the inside curve, uses all the track possible on the exit, and we're going to see if Nordic Ninja is able to get into the 27s. Is he going to be able to do it? He can't get into the 27s, but he does take provisional pole position away from Kurumi, who has just about got his lap underway in behind, and let's see if the LDL man can immediately respond here. As we head through turns number 1 and 2, a little bit squirrely through turn 2 there for Kurumi, and that is not going to build him with much confidence around this circuit. And there's the invalidation right there. Kurumi getting a little bit flustered early on his lap, but we come through to number 7 right now with Nico, of course, the Rising Lions driver, coming through turn number 8 now, looking for a good exit here. Of course, he was over a 10th up in sector 1, needs to try and carry that over through the remaining of the lap as YCN pops up into P3. He's on a 28.0 as well, 0.08 of a second slower than Kurumi here in qualifying. 6.5 minutes of the qualifying session remaining as we're on board with Nico coming up through turn number 12, and he's about a 10.5 up. This will be good enough to get him up into P4 right now, but he needs a little bit more if he wants to try and get himself more secure in that top 4, I'll say, because I don't think there's a huge amount of time that he can gain there. But it is the invalidation. Into the pits goes Nico, just overstepped the boundary on the exit of the final corner, and that is Nico back into the pit lane and going to be getting himself psyched up now for his final runs here in qualifying. Coming on board right now with Thomas, currently down in P8. He's going to be looking to get himself a Yoda. 2 up he was in the middle sector. Let's see if he can hold that through the final couple of corners now. To the line will come Thomas, and let's see if he's going to be able to get this done. Yes, he does. 3 temps improvement in the end, puts himself up into P4. It's a 28.2 for the LRN driver. As Quartz is, I believe, on a cooldown lap, but we'll wait and see. Actually, no, he's on a fast lap, and he's gained a lot of time in the middle sector. So, I mean, Quartz right now, I mean, that will build him with a bit of confidence as long as he can find that time in the final, in the first sector that he did lose. He definitely knows there's a good amount of time there. Remember, he was well over a 10th down in the first sector, and of course in the middle sector he was marginally up on his time, so he's able to get himself in a pretty good rhythm in that middle sector. But we'll have to wait and see if he is going to find that time in the first sector come the end of the session. 4 minutes remaining in qualifying right now. Alexinho is the man out on track, of course, on his outlap right now, so we'll stay on board with the RVL driver as he comes in towards turn number 8. Guys, predictions in the chat right now. who is going to get pole position? Will Nordic Ninja hang on for Rising Lions? Will it be Kurumi who gets pole position? Will it be YCN getting that pole position? Or will it be anyone else? Will it be Thomas? Will it be Vita? Will it be Quats? Let me know in the chat your predictions. On board right now with Alexino about to get his lap underway and see the final run here in qualifying, and everyone now is going to be pushing it to the absolute limit. We got our first prediction in the chat, Kurumi for pole position from Maxence. Yeah, it's Maxence, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, no, they're getting a little bit of a wiggle through turns 2 and 3, which is not ideal for him, but coming into turn 4 now, he needs to get himself in a rhythm here, because obviously the middle sector is where you're going to find a lot of time and lose a lot of time, but he is 800 of a second up on his previous lap time, and he needs to find around 2 tenths if he wants to jump up any positions. Tiger right now 2 tenths ahead of him on a 28.6. Of course, Alexino currently on a 28.8. Will we see anyone breaking into the 27s here in qualifying? Alexino, right now, I don't think he's threatening the 27s, but he could be potentially on course to threaten the top 10 with a good middle sector here. And let's see if Alexino is going to be able to do so coming up through the right-hander turn number 12 to the middle sector split. And he's only 300 of a second up, which right now is just going to keep him in the same position of where he's currently at. Alexino now to the line. Marginal improvement stays P13 as we got Plex now coming through turn number 4, but I believe Nordic Ninja a bit further up the road, coming towards turn number 11 now. As we climb up the hill for the left-hander, now swinging it into the right-hander, keeping it very, very tight onto the curbs here. And he is over a tenth down in the middle sector, and there's a big, big slide from Nordic Ninja. He's not going to be improving. Kurumi has just begun his lap. We'll come back on board with him in just a moment's time. YCN on his lap, and he is marching down in the first sector. We'll stay on board with the Alpha Tally here for EXT as we come through turns number 8. Through turn number 9 and 10 goes YCN, and it's good traction out of turn number 10 there for the AlphaTauri, for the EXT man as he comes down into the braking on turn number 11, throws the car in 4th gear, climbing up the hill now through 11 now into the right hander of turn number 12, and this is looking pretty good from YCN. Purple middle sector, and the Delta did not show up, so I think he's right now matched his previous lap, so it's all about the final sector here. How much does he attack this final corner? And he has attacked it. He hasn't drifted all the way to the exit curb, so he's going to run to the line. Is YCN going to improve? No, he is not. Let's go on board with Kurumi here, and he's 200 of a second down. Is the LDL man as he comes through the final corner himself. Checker flag is out in the session. Here's Nordic Ninja, who's currently out on provisional pole for Rising Alliance, but here comes Kurumi. It's a 27.8 from him. A huge amount of time gained in the final sector from the LD man, and it is absolutely incredible improvement there from Kurumi in that final sector as we are on board with his teammate Plex right now in P7, trying to get himself up the order. Whether he'll get onto the front row with his teammate remains to be seen. Let's have a look and see what the middle sector split is going to say in just a moment's time. Over a tenth up in the middle sector is Plex, which will be good enough to get him up ahead of Vita here, but he needs a little bit more if he wants to get himself up there ahead of the likes of Nico, Thomas, YCN, and of course Nordic Ninja. To the line will come Plex now, and he's going to go to P6, so he gets ahead of both of the GT10 drivers as Thomas is into the pit lane, and obviously YCN is on his cooldown lap, and that is an end to qualifying here. Kurumi does get pole in the end, and he gets into the 127s around here. An incredible lap time there from Kurumi, and job done for LDL here. In terms of the team performance, I mean, LDL currently P1, P6, Rising Lions currently P2, P5, so a good performance from both of them. GT10 currently 7th and 8th, so a good performance from them. Also with the AlphaTauri's of EXT, both drivers inside the top 10, so some good team performances thus far here in qualifying. And of course, it is a 5 place group penalty for Thomas for illegal block, and of course we will be having a lobby restart, so that won't matter too much to him. But yeah, it's still quite annoying that those penalties are still handed out here on the game cycle, and of course when the AI are controlling the cars as well, it's even worse. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's run you through the order one more time here. It is, of course, Kurumi, who takes pole position with a 27.8, a 10th and a half ahead of Nordic Ninja, who will join him on the front row. Rising Lions driver right there. YCN in P3 with LRN Thomas in P4. Nico there in P5 for RSL. And then of course LDL Plex in P6. GT10 drivers Vita and Quats will share the 4th row of the grid together, with Deluxe Esports' Pablo in 9th place. And EXT Dylan round out the top 10. Outside the top 10 we got Tiger, Thomas Leo, Casper, Alexino, Chosky, Rum, and obviously we got Lucas and Leonardo going to be starting from the back after serving their qualifying ban here tonight. So Team G4's got a lot of work to do. But guys, before we head into the action, let us go to the advert, and then of course we'll have a short intermission whilst we get the new lobby set up. Well, there it is, guys. We have Kurumi on pole position, Nordic Ninja alongside, of course, supporting the chat for both of those teams as well in LDL and Rising Lions. YCN currently in P3 with Thomas P4, Nico P5, Plex in P6, Vita P7, Quats in P8, Pablo P9, and Dylan rounding out the top 10. Tiger in 11th for Thomas Leo in 12th, Casper 13th, and of course Alexino in 14th, Chosky in 15th, and Rum, the last of the qualifiers, in 16th place, with both G4 drivers serving their qualifying ban in 17th and 18th place. And it'll be interesting to see what they can do coming from the back of the grid. Of course, guys, we will be having a lobby restart. And while we do get the lobby restarted, we'll be taking a small intermission break. Just to give the lobby host time to get everything set up. So we'll be back in just a moment's time, guys. Let me know in the chat. I will be in the chat. Let me know your predictions for the race. Who is going to be taking a victory here in F2 in the Esports Masters League? Let me know, guys. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, guys, welcome back. We've got the new lobby set up and rearing to go. Of course, in the chat while we was on the intermission screen, Nordic Ninja saying he had a horrendous lap. If my wheel didn't break or screamed in freeze mid race, I would have. I've had a lot of troubles with it today. So Nordic Ninja playing with a little bit of technical issues, which is not ideal for him. But yeah, obviously he's just gonna have to persevere and get through the race as best as possible. Remember, guys, make sure you do remember your setups here tonight. And of course, again, as our quick reminder of the standings. Of course, LDL lead the way, 203 points, with Estonia in second place with Exostia. I said Estonia then, didn't I? That's a country. Oh no, Mike. 192 points for EXT, I should say, in second place. GT10 in third with Rice and Lions in fourth. GeForce in fifth with RVL in sixth. LRN in seventh. ESRL eighth. QSL Esports in ninth place, and of course Deluxe Esports rounding out the final position in 10th. Of course, guys, it was the LDL driver of it was Kurumi who did get pole position in the end ahead of Nordic Ninja, so those two will be sharing the front row together, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to come out on top in that little battle on the rundown in towards turn number 1. And we eagerly await to see when those 5 red lights are going to go. But until then, guys, a quick reminder again, remember your setups, guys. Nothing worse than running around Bahrain with a default setup, that is for sure. But looking at the track right now, I mean, everyone's still in their garage, so we will stay here as we eagerly await the incredible 5 red lights to get us underway. Remember, guys, in around about 20 minutes time, F1 will also be getting underway, being taking you through the action in F1 will of course be the one, the only Mr. James Head and myself joining him at some point in the race. But the 5 red lights are out and we are underway here in Bahrain, and it looks like a good start there from Kurumi, able to hold off Nordic Ninja on the rundown in towards turn number 1, but in fact it is YCN going around the outside, going to be able to try and get that job done for P2. A little bit of contact between the pair of them, and looking at the tyre split in the grid, only 2 drivers gone for a set of medium tyres with Kurumi, and oh no, run also on there, but we just saw Thomas trying that around the outside of turn 4, bit of contact made between Nordic Ninja, and oh my god, guys, the race is not run on lap number 1, oh my, and that is from around at the back, not ideal starting procedures here. I think but a lot more respect needs to be given to each people on track than what we're seeing right now. Of course, we're seeing Vita getting through up the order into P4. Good start from him. Meanwhile, falling down the order, several drivers making more contact with each other, which is not ideal there. And yeah, I think everyone just needs to take a deep breath and just calm down now. Of course, we are lap 1 of 29, and yeah, already a lot of I think words will be exchanged after the race for that, as you see several drivers already into the pit lane here at the end of lap 1. I'm not surprised with the amount of contact that we saw there as Vita gets the move done on Nordic Ninja. Up into P3 goes the GT10 driver, but what that has done is allowed Kurumi to break away at the front of the field. 1.4 the gap, 1.5 the gap now, and YCN now 3.8 seconds ahead of this battle for the final podium position between Vita, Nordic Ninja, Tiger and Quartz here, who are a further 2 seconds ahead of the likes of Lucas LRN Thomas, who's just been overtaken down the inside by Leonardo there. And yeah, I mean, let's have a look at the position changes here right now, and let's get them up and see who's the big gainers and who's the big losers. Of course, no surprise, Lucas and Leonardo both up 10 places. They're the big gainers here, and the big loser in all this was, of course, the Rising Lions driver in Nico. He's down 11 places here in this race, but a lot of race still to go, that is for sure. And the mantra of never giving up until the end is going to reign true for several of the drivers here tonight. But Kurumi has absolutely gone away, and I think all that has come from the absolute carnage that we saw on lap 1, which is not ideal. Meanwhile, we got a lovely freeway battle going on for the final podium position. Vita, Nordic Ninja and Tiger. Here's GT10, Rising Lions and Deluxe Esports here battling out for that final podium position. YCN right now currently comfortable in P2, and of course currently comfortable out in the race lead, as we're seeing more pit stops happening further down the field. And of course 12th place all the way down to last have made a pit stop here, and yeah, they're going to need a safety car to get themselves back into this, that is for sure. And hopefully we don't see anyone DNFing in terms of causing the safety car. But yeah, I think a safety car is needed for the guys at the back, or maybe a well-timed virtual to maybe potentially close them up slightly. We'll have to wait and see. But lap 3 of 29. Kurumi 2.5 seconds clear of YCN, who's 3.7 seconds clear of Vita. Vita right now under pressure from Nordic Ninja and Tiger for that final podium position, as we are about to begin lap number 4 now. Nordic Ninja with DRS going to have the toe down in towards turn number 1. Not going to be close enough to make the move, but right now it's all about just managing the race. That's what it's all about right here, managing the race. And of course those hard tyres, I'm expecting to see the switch onto a set of mediums around I would say lap 16, 17, thereabouts. So there's still a long way to go on these tyres, but around lap 16, 17 I think we'll start to see some pit stops begin to happen. Maybe even a little bit earlier if they have decent tyre wear on the mediums. But yeah, 16, 17 is my prediction for setting the mediums. They might attempt to stretch it out to the softs, in which case they want to take them a few laps more, maybe that 19, 20, 21 lap mark. But Kurumi right now obviously 2.6 seconds in the lead. Of course, sitting very comfortable right now is the LDL man, and yeah, I mean, not a challenger right now, but of course when he does make his pit stop, you have to make it a little bit earlier than the rest of the field. And I think the big thing for Kurumi is whether or not he comes out in any of the traffic that has already made their pit stop. That's going to be the big thing, because if he does come out in traffic with the likes of Quartz, Alexino, Nico, and obviously Plex, his teammate there as well, that could be hugely detrimental to his race. But right now Nordic Ninja closing in on Vita for that final podium position, moves to the inside line, and he's going to outbrake the GT10 driver. Down the inside he goes. Job done there for Nordic Ninja, and now we're going to see if he's going to be able to hold on to that position, because Vita will come back at him with DRS and will draw alongside. Down the inside goes Vita into turn 4. Job done for the GT10 driver, and Nordic Ninja unable to get on the traction that he needs to really fight that into the S's at the start of this middle sector through turn 6 and 7. But in towards turn number 8 now, you're seeing Tiger just eagerly waiting on an opportunity to try and make a move happen. The other battles that we got out on track, of course, the battle for P10 between Rum and Casper, here QSL and of course LRN. And of course we got the battle of those that have already made their pit stops in the likes of Quartz, Plex and Alexino here battling out for P12 in this race. And a lot of work for these three drivers to do if they want to get themselves back in a good position come the end of the race, but we'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds. Nordic Ninja again getting onto the back of Vita here. We're on lap 5, about to begin lap number 6 of 29. Kurumi 3-second lead. YCN 4.5 seconds clear of this battle for the final podium position. I believe we just had Thomas here have a moment at the back, and he's fallen majorly down the order now. As Nordic Ninja, they're not using any ERS, just trying to get the overtake done with a DRS alone, which I do think is a good idea, because you don't want to burn too much of that ERS at this stage in the race, because you will leave yourself vulnerable, and if you lose that DRS you might end up just never getting back into it. However, Lucas right now closing up to the back of them for G-Force. Remember, he started in last place as Casper and Rum are battling right now for P10. They're side by side coming into the fast S's in the start of the middle sector, and it looks like, oh, this is great stuff by you. It looks like Rum's going to be able to hold on to that, but Casper's not giving up without a fight. Thomas Leo into the pit lane, retires from the session, so we've got our first retiree, and that's a big rear end lockup for Rum there, as he just completely loses the back end under braking and just absolutely sliding Tokyo Drift style through turn number 10. And Thomas leaves the session, and of course considering how the start of this race went, obviously he definitely will not be happy with that. But now Lucas is in this train. He is caught up to the guys battling for the final podium position, and potentially, I mean, I don't think, I'm not seeing anything visually, but considering the fact that these guys have DRS, Lucas has done very well to close up the way he has, but maybe Nordic Ninja and Vita might have a bit of damage on him. Potentially. Tiger right now just chilling in P5. Lucas is on the back of him. A little bit of a snap there on the exit of turn 4 for Lucas, but he is still going well. Meanwhile, QSL and LRN are battling, but it's the other two drivers of Chosky and Thomas doing battle right now for P8 in this race. And I think Chosky, job done for him. Lap 7 of 29. Remy out in the race lead, and of course now is when we're going to start to see the equalising of the tyres by here, with the mediums are not going to be as quick as what they were at the start of the race, so we should be seeing that gap of 2.5 seconds hold around there for the time being, and then we'll begin to close in. And of course, speaking of closing in, Nordic Ninja closing in on GT10 Vita here for P3, and he does have to make this move pretty soon, because the guys in behind him are going to start to put the pressure on. The more laps we do, the higher the pressure is going to be for Nordic Ninja to make this move. And with DRS, which he's not using, he's not, there we go, now he's used a little bit of DRS, but elected to not use any DRS. That's allowed Tiger to have a little look around the outside though, and he's almost on the inside, and oh, Lucas there getting a big snap on the exit, but he smells a bit of blood in the water, does Lucas, and he's going to try to potentially look for a move. He had a little peek down the inside, then to the outside, but elects to stay in behind Tiger for the time being. Meanwhile, Chosky still ahead of Thomas here in the battle for P8. Casper still ahead of Rum in the battle for P10. Quads, after getting through on Plex, has not only pulled away from him, but he's also pulled away from Alexino, who's in a battle right now with Plex for P13. So I don't know whether it was these two battling that caused that gap to happen, or whether Quads just has that pace over these two drivers in particular, but Quads getting away from those that have already made a pit stop now pretty handily. as Nordic Ninja again closing up to the back of Vita, and it's just going to be a case of when does Nordic Ninja go for this overtake. Personally, I think he should start working with Vita, using DRS back and forth, because there you just see there Lucas getting through on Tiger, and Lucas is a driver right now who is on a bit of a charge and is not going to wait around. If you're not going to overtake, he will overtake you. That is going to be the mindset from Lucas. So you see Nordic Ninja now gets the job done. Up into P3 goes Nordic Ninja, but Vita once again with a good exit out of turns 2 and 3, and he gets that position back down the inside in towards turn number 4, but doesn't get the best of runs, as Nordic Ninja is going to try and hold it there, and no, he has to sit in behind the GT Den driver, as Lucas there, big slide from him through turns 6 and 7, but Vita going very deep there through turn 8. That opened the door somewhat for Nordic Ninja, but again, Nordic Ninja just electing to stay in behind. So, playing it very conservative is the Horizon Lions driver here. We'll go on board with this battle for P13 between Alexino and Plex, as Plex was getting all underneath that rear wing of Alexino here for P13 in this race. Now remember guys, there is points all the way down to last place. Of course, Thomas, the only retiree of the race thus far, throwing away his opportunity at 2 points for RVL, but sometimes retiring can be the right option, especially if he did pick up severe damage through the opening phases of the race, which potentially he might have. As Nordic Ninja gets back through, up into P3 goes Nordic Ninja, and you see him Vita getting a decent exit out of turn 2 and 3, but not as good as previous, but he's used a bit of battery and he's down the inside, but potentially has gone a bit too deep as Nordic Ninja gets the traction that he needs, so they're going side by side into the S's, and Nordic Ninja actually backing out of it, and that is Nico out of this race, and that is a full course safety car. Nico, it looks like he's lost it on traction coming up the final corner. Safety car here, lap 9 as we go into lap 10 of 29. Safety car has been deployed. This is a saving grace for those that had to pit at the beginning of lap number 1, but this is brilliant for Kurumi as well, but for everyone on the hards, this poses a real contention point right now. Because you can check on the set of the mediums, you can try and stretch them all the way to the end, but how good are those mediums going to be? That is going to be the key question. Of course, Kurumi should definitely be at the pit for a set of hards, that is for sure, as will everyone that has already made their pit stops. Obviously in Quartz, Plex, Alexino, Pablo and Dylan, they'll obviously be in for a set of hards, same with Rum as well, but everyone on a set of the hards already. This is going to be an intriguing prospect now, as everyone will funnel into the pit lane, and of course we will see a double stack here for LRN, which is not ideal for them. And it looks like Casper is just absolutely, he's made a huge mistake somewhere, because he was a lot further up the track than where he's indicating right now, and this is just going to hold Thomas up. So Thomas is going to lose out here to Rum, maybe even Quartz as well. Remember, Quartz, see, he's not going to be affected by this double stack here, but Thomas is going to get affected by the double stack. How much time does he lose? Is he going to be able to get back out ahead of Quartz here? And no, he's actually going to come out all the way down behind Plex. So Thomas losing out hugely in the pit stop phase due to the double stack with his teammate. And I'm not sure what happened with Casper, because Casper was up there with Cho not too long ago, and he's absolutely fallen away from him under the safety car. And yeah, they forced the double stack with his teammate, and Thomas has been hung out to dry here for LRN. But now, of course, everyone will bunch up again, and Kurumi is not going to be happy with the safety car being out. Of course, he had a huge lead and was a strong favourite to take the race win. Now, though, he has everyone back on his rear wing once again. Obviously, YCN will be happy that he's close up to the back of Kurumi, but obviously will be furious at the likes of GT10, Vita, Nordic Ninja, and Tiger, as well as Lucas there in 6th place, all on his rear wing again. Choski up in P7, good going from him. Leonardo in P8, lost out with the double stack, of course, with his teammate Casper in P9, and Quartz up into P10 once again. Quartz trying to make his way through the field for GT10 here in tonight's race, and it looks like we'll have the safety car for one more lap here. Lap 12 of 29. We're in the safety car conditions. Meanwhile, at the same time, guys, we do have F1 that has just got underway in terms of the stream. Of course, we are just about 2 minutes away from the start of qualifying in F1. Of course, James Head taking you through the action there, and obviously I will be joining him when done with the F2 action. So, of course, I will have to shoot off pretty sharpish after the checker flag falls, but F1 action about to get underway in just a moment's time. We're in the safety car conditions here, lap 12 of 29 here in Bahrain with the guys in Formula 2. Kurumi leading the way, YCN in 2nd place, Vita in 3rd, Nordic Ninja 4th, Tiger in 5th, Lucas in 6th, Choski 7th, Leonardo in 8th, Casper 9th, and Quartz completing the top 10. And of course we've got Rum, Plex, Thomas for LRN, Alexino, Pablo and Dylan at the back of the field. Everyone on the hard compound tyres should get to the end, no issues. Everyone on the mediums, they'll have great pace early on, but I think they're going to struggle by the time we get to around about lap 23. They are really going to struggle on those tyres. Waiting for the safety car to go in, and they should have the notification now that the safety car coming into the pit lane. No, in fact, we're going to have it out for another lap because Dylan is well and truly off the back of the pack. I thought we would be getting the safety car in this lap, but no, we will have one more lap of the safety car conditions here in Bahrain. Apologies guys, as sixth car is coming in at the end of this lap. Apologies if you do hear a cat crying in the background. My cat is going nuts right now. But Grammy going to control the pace. We're going to go on board with YCN, who's going to be the man going to be leading the charge against the LDL driver as we come through the final two corners now. And Grammy leading it very late to get the restart underway. And he's half going, and there we go, he's gone, and that is Grammy back into the race lead as YCN very sharp to the restart there. Nordic Ninja all over the back, but look at this, down the inside goes YCN for the race lead, and contact there with Grammy down the inside, and that allows Vita, Nordic Ninja and Tiger to go through. YCN there risking it for the race lead, but it did not pay off for him whatsoever. He's now side by side with Tiger for P4 now coming through turn 4, and it looks like actually YCN is going to really fight this coming through the S's of 6 and 7, but more bit of contact made between the pair of them into turn number 8 at the hairpin now, and you can see Lucas all over the back of these two looking for an opportunity to try and get through himself as these guys are battling tooth and nail for P4 right now. And of course YCN wants to try and get himself back up to the front as quickly as possible as Casper overtaken by Rum there for P10. Meanwhile, up the order, I believe we just saw a change between Nordic Ninja and Vita momentarily between the pair of them. Lap 14 of 29. It is Grammy leading the way, but with these guys on the mediums, they're going to have to really push, and that is Thomas out this race. Thomas out this race, and it's another safety car here in F2, and if you have a fresh set of mediums on, it might be worth now. It might be worth, from this stage, it might be worth a fresh set of mediums if you do have one available. Of course, if you have fresh hards, that is also another option, but safety car deployed once again here, lap 15 of 29, and yeah, Thomas unfortunately out of this race. Casper and Leonardo into the pit, same with Rum as well, and we're going to see if there's going to be front wing changes. It definitely is for Rum, and it looks like it's going to be a front wing change for Leonardo as well. Casper, I don't think there's a front wing change for him, but I think he's just putting on a fresh set of mediums to give himself the best chance of having good tyre life all the way to the end of this race. I don't know if you guys were able to hear my cat then in the background, but my cat is going absolutely nuts in the background. But yeah, lap 15 of 29. Karami leads the way on a set of the hard compound tyres. Nordic Ninja currently in second with Vita in third. YCN there in fourth place. Tiger in fifth with Lucas in sixth place. Seventh place there for Quads for GT10. QSL Chosky in eighth place. Plex up in the ninth. And Alexino there in the top 10 in 10th place. Outside the top 10 we got EXT's Dylan, we got Pablo, then we got Casper on a fresh set of mediums, along with Leonardo in 14th, and of course Rumsco in 15th, and that's probably how you pronounce it actually, Rumsco. I've probably been overthinking that name way too much, but yeah, they are all on fresh mediums at the back. Of course, Dylan on 2 lap old mediums, so he does have the fresher mediums out of the rest of the field, apart from the 3 that came into the pits under this safety car period. But right now, it looks like we're gonna have the safety car out for another lap here. As we go on to lap 16, we should be getting underway for lap 17, so we'll have, I believe, 13 laps remaining in this race, which we hope will remain green flag conditions throughout the entirety, and we won't get interrupted by another safety car period, and we will get to see who's going to come out on top here. Will it be Karami? Will it be Nordic Ninja? Will it be Vita? Will it be YCN? Or will it be a surprise? Will the likes of Quads get up there? Remember, Quartz has had some good pace. He's made his way up for the field quite well, and he's now on the back of the top 6. He is on the hards as well, so equalise in terms of the tyre strategy with Kurumli. And Quartz has actually had some very good pace here thus far. Will it be any of the drivers that have put on a fresh set of mediums? Will it be Casper? Will it be Leonardo? Will it be Rumsco? Time will tell, of course. Absolutely it will. Lap 16 of 29. We should be getting back to green flag racing at the end of this lap. And we will go on board with Nordic Ninja in the meantime. And he needs to go ahead and get the move done on Crumley ASAP. And maybe try and back Crumley up into the likes of Vita and YCN, because Nordic Ninja has an opportunity here and needs to be alert on this restart. Will Kurumli leave it very late for the safety car restart again, or will he switch it up now and maybe go a little bit earlier? Safety car is in this lap. Well, we'll soon find out. Nordic Ninja, we're staying on board with him as we await Kurumli to get the restart underway. Supporting the chat for Nordic as well. Do it for the teammate, and Nordic going to be looking to try and get this race lead off Kurumli, and he's just waiting for the Red Bull to get the restart underway. I like a Vita there as well, looking to pounce on Nordic Ninja, but Kurumli there gets a fantastic restart. And look at Vita, and look at this, YCN is going to be free wide down in towards turn 1, and YCN does back out. Nordic Ninja will hold the inside line, Vita around the outside, as it is 2x2 like Noah's Ark going through turns 1 there, as YCN holds on to P4 ahead of Tiger. Lucas under pressure there in behind from Quartz, but it is Vita up into P2 now. GT10's Vita getting the overtake done on Nordic Ninja. Meanwhile, you're seeing Plex and Quartz side by side through turn number 4. And it is Quartz holds on to that position and will remain in P7, but he is under some big pressure. As you're seeing, Quartz having a look down the inside of Lucas, might even get him on traction on the exit. He has the outside line, might switch to the inside for turn number 10. Oh, a little bit of contact, taps the rear of Lucas there, does Quartz. He needs to hope that he hasn't picked up any wing damage from that, and keep his head down and keep his head cool. Meanwhile, YCN on the back of Nordic Ninja for 3rd place here. Leonardo and Pablo there swapping positions. Those guys on the fresh mediums, we'll have to keep an eye on them and their progress. Right now, Leonardo making the first overtake count. Meanwhile, you got Rumsco looking at the back of Pablo, but not able to get through. YCN all over the back of Nordic Ninja now, as we are about to begin lap 18 of 29. Kurumli still leads the way. Vita now in 2nd place, using a bit of battery to try and close up. Nordic Ninja using battery to close up on Vita, and yeah, he has to back out of that as Vita tries to go around the outside. Nordic Ninja down the inside, and Nordic Ninja, is he going to have the traction around the outside to make this work? It's still going to be wheel to wheel on the exit of turn 3, and it is GT10's Vita that has the slipstream. Oh, he tried to move across. Did Vita try to move across? Tried to make a little bit of space for himself, but he was boxed in there, and I don't know. That's a techie one right there. Honestly, when you're boxed in like that, there's little that you can do other than back out. Back off the throttle yourself. But yeah, YCN gets through on Vita up into P3 now. Goes YCN. Nordic Ninja potentially might have picked up a little bit of damage with Vita moving across like that, but we'll visually have a look, and visually I'm not really seeing any visual damage, but you never know. He is still closing in for the corners on Crumley, so we'll assume no damage on the Alfa Romeo of Nordic Ninja there, so he might have just got away with that one scot-free. YCN now looking to try and get a move done on Nordic Ninja and get himself back into P2. And remember, what happened on the first safety car restart. YCN tried to get the move done on Karami, and contact was made, and YCN fell down the order, and he's coming back with a vengeance here. Of course, the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri, sister cars in real life, but not sister cars in this championship fight, that is for sure. As down the back goes Dylan and Alexinho, and I think they've come together there through turns 3, and not ideal for them. Tiger on the back of Vita, trying to put the GT10 driver under pressure here for P4, and he is going to put him under pressure. He's going to use a bit of battery down the inside into 11, and Tiger for Deluxe Esports up into P4, and he's trying to hold on by using a bit more battery. He doesn't want to burn too much of it though, because if he does, it's going to be a sitting duck for Vita later on in this race. But right now, the top 10 have broken away from the rest of the field. Rumsco in 11th over a second back off the back of Leonardo, who's doing a good job coming from the back of the field. Same with Lucas as well, up in P6, and arguably gone pretty under the radar has Lucas in this race. But we have to wait and see if he's going to be able to hold it. Meanwhile, Vita down the inside of Tiger into turn 1, and might open the door for Lucas here, who is all over the back of Tiger, and he's going to move to the inside line already, and this is going to be a job done for Lucas up into P5 now. As Tiger tries to hold it around the outside, not going to be able to get it done. Quartz having a little peek as well in behind, and we have just seen the split happen now from the top 3 to the battle for P4, as Vita and Tiger side by side through turn 1, costing themselves a lot of time. Meanwhile, we're seeing Quartz trying to get this move done on Tiger around the outside in towards turn 9 and 10. Switch back there from Quartz. This is beautiful stuff from the GT10 driver, and an incredible overtaking movement there from Quartz. And it is, I think, honestly, the overtake of the race thus far on lap 20. Quartz with GT10 up into P6 in this race. And at some point, the hard tyres are going to be the better tyre. So, I mean, potentially we could be seeing Quartz making a charge at the order, maybe dragging Vita along the best he can. But for right now, the mediums are still slightly better off than the hards, and we could be seeing YCN shaping up a move for the race lead here. Down the inside goes YCN, and it's going to be contested actually by Karami. He's going to try and hold it around the outside, and he has to settle in behind Karami does there, and he will have DRS to try and come back at YCN here, but unable to do so in towards turn number 4, so he's going to have to sit in behind. You'll want to hope that a lot of life has been taken up those medium tyres, that he can't pull away to the levels that we saw Karami did earlier on. Meanwhile, Tiger still falling down the orders. He's been overtaken by Plex, as well as Quartz has been given the go-ahead to get ahead of his teammate and get onto the back of Lucas. Lucas 2 seconds off the top 3 now for G-Force, and this will be interesting as he's gone way off track there. I'm sorry, I can hear beeping in the background. I'm not too sure what that beeping is in the background there. I got a little bit concerned. I thought I'd get someone else's fire alarm going off, which of course it definitely is not. Top 3 though still bunching up together, as YCN, Karami and Nordic Ninja are doing incredibly well in this race, and of course Lucas trying his best to keep up, but he is going to have Quartz on the back of him pretty soon on those hard tyres, which will become the better tyres. And this is just going to be, when does the switch happen? When do the hard tyres become the better tyres? So you see Karami now down the inside on YCN. YCN looking for a bit of a switch back, unable to do so, but he will actually, no, he's not going to get a DRS. he's not going to get DRS on Kurumi. Kurumi's going to have the DRS to hold on to the race lead here on lap 22, but he outbreaks Kurumi, almost goes straight into the back of the LDL driver, but Kurumi does hold on to the race lead here as Nordic Ninja appears to be falling slightly away from the battle for the race lead. But if anything goes wrong, Nordic Ninja is there to take advantage, and Quartz with a 3-second time penalty. That is huge in this race, because now, I mean, he has no choice. He has to push. He probably should have tried to drag his teammate along, but now he has no choice. He has to push. He needs to get as many points for GT10 as possible in this race, which means he cannot hang around and try and tow his teammate along. And Vita's actually been given the go-ahead to go ahead of Quartz here. So, I mean, different orders coming through for GT10 there, as YCN and Kurumi still very close on track, as you've got Plex trying to get a move done on Quartz, unable to do so, and that is Tiger around. And I'm wondering if that little bit of I mean, not necessarily contact, but obviously the look that Plex had on Quartz there, I'm wondering if that small little bit of a snap on Plex's car caused a mistake from Tiger. But you were seeing Leonardo looking for a move on Plex, trying to outbreak down the inside. Job done for Leonardo there. Plex down in towards Plex down in towards P8 as the change in the lead has happened. YCN now back into the race lead, as Nordic Ninja still there, just waiting for an opportunity. But I believe now we should be seeing the hard tyres start to become the better tyre. I think from this point onwards, the hards should be the better of the tyres, even though we've had 2 safety car periods, and you would think that it's another lap or 2 better off, but I think from this point on, the hards, they'll be just a little bit better than the mediums, and they'll continue to get better until the end of the race. Lap 23 of 29, YCN leading the way. Kurumi in second place for LDL. And of course, we've got Rising Lions is Nordic Ninja currently in P3, with G-Forces Lucas in P4, GT10 Vita in P5, and Quartz in P6 with a 3-second time penalty, and really holding up the rest of the pack here, as Leonardo has a look down the inside. Quartz there, going to be looking to try and come back at him. I think he will miss out on DRS, yes he will, but he'll have the straight line speed and the ERS to really take that fight back to Leonardo. And you see Leonardo then going to try and outbrake, but brakes too late. Does the G-Force driver put in too much force in those brakes, and of course locking up going on at turn 1. That is of course going to affect him having an opportunity down in towards turn 4, but he's going to try and send it around the outside regardless. Unable to do so, was not close enough to get that done on Quartz, but 2 seconds a gap between Quartz and his teammate, and I think definitely the order from Quartz hold up the back of the pack, and we're seeing Plex and Casper there getting a bit too close to contact there between those two, as oh my god, I think Quartz is trying to hold up the pack, and in doing so we're seeing a lot of drivers get caught out by here, and everyone just bunching up massively in this battle for P6. And we're going to go back up to the front as we see Kurumi getting close to the back of YCN once again. We could be seeing an overtake happen for the race leaders. Leonardo again tries to get through on Quartz, but he's unable to do so at this moment in the race, as it looks like Kurumi more than happy just sitting behind right now. But no, he's going to send it down the inside as Kurumi gets the move done. Down the inside goes the Red Bull, and he will have a DRS as well to be able to hold on to the race lead. Leonardo going to get through on Quartz now. Up into P6 goes the G-Force driver, and there goes Quartz. He's going to lose out to Plex now. Plex going to get through up into P7, and Quartz will now have to do battle with Rumsco and Casper, who also have time penalties to their name. As Tiger with the fastest lap of the race, he's down there in 15th place. What could have been for Deluxe Esports here, as Rumsco is trying to get himself through on a quad here for P8, but unable to find the overtake there. I'm not sure. Does quads have any damage? Does anyone from GT10 have any inside information? Does quads have damage? I'll tell you someone who doesn't have damage, because he's managed to get back into this battle for the race win, is Lucas right now in 4th place. He's back within a second of these guys, and this is all down to the fact that Columbia and YCN have been playing a bit of DRS chicken, not really going for the overtakes. They're just happy to sit in behind, and that has of course slowed them up. It's also slowed Nordic Ninja up, and it's allowed Lucas to get in the range of the DRS itself as well. And if they carry on, they might end up bringing GT10 Vita into the equation as well, as Quads and Rumsco side by side through turn number 1. And Quads with another 3-second time penalty there, cutting turn 2. Not ideal for him. Lap 26 of 29, as we're seeing Chosky now on the back of Quads here. Remember, Chosky will jump up ahead of these guys just naturally on penalties regardless, but you'll want to get done on track, that is for sure. Now we are going to focus up on the front, so we got a 4-way battle for the race win. It is Karumli out in the lead right now, and I think we are seeing those hard tyres now coming into play and becoming extremely effective for Karumli. And what that does mean is that now YCN, Nordic Ninja and Lucas, essentially now they have to use their battery. They have to try and overtake Karumli with DRS now down in towards turn number 1. And we're going to see if they're going to be able to do it, because in the corners I believe we'll see Karumli now begin to pull away from these guys. There we go, the gap around about 6 tenths of a second, as YCN is going to close up. Not going to be close enough to go for the move, but it's all about setting up for turn 4, I think. And that is what YCN is going to be looking for, turn number 4. Needs good traction here on the exit of 1 through 2, but he does lose out quite considerably to Karumli. But with DRS, he'll close back up. Not going to be close enough to go for the overtake, but he's going to have to time this perfection. Lap 27 of 29. Karumli still leads the way. YCN in the 2nd place. Nordic Ninja holding on to 3rd, with Lucas there in 4th place. Vita in a lonesome P5 right now, with Plex in P6, Leonardo in P7, putting him under pressure. And of course we got the drivers who have penalties to their name, of course, of Casper, Rumsco and Quartz in this. I'll see Pablo will jump himself up into P8 naturally if it does stay this way. Chosky, who just picked up a 3-second time penalty not too long ago, he's in 12th place, and it's definitely going to be an intriguing end to the race, as for sure, between the battles of which we have going on right now. But we're going to focus on this battle, the battle for the race lead, the battle for the podium positions, because this is where it all comes down to it, as we are about to head on to the penultimate lap of the race, lap 28 of 29. YCN, when does he go for the overtake? You think he's going to stay in behind for this lap and then push on the final lap, but he needs to make sure he is as close to perfect as possible on this lap. And you see him backing out there, going into turn 1. He probably could have got the overtake done there, but he elected not to go for the overtake. Meanwhile, Lucas getting close to the back of Nordic Ninja as well, starting to put him under a bit of pressure. Now, Grumley with 60% ERS, YCN with 50% ERS. Lap 28 of 29. The battle for the race lead, the battle for the race win, I think is now coming down to these two drivers. Unless they slow each other up enough, Nordic Ninja is probably not going to be able to get through on them, and neither will Lucas. So right now it's a battle between these two, and you're seeing the hard tyres, they are helping Karumli pull away and forcing YCN to use battery to get himself back within range of the Red Bull. But unfortunately right now, Karumli just has the grip on those hard compound tyres. And this is where it is all going to come down to it, guys, as we head on to the final lap of the race. Karumli leads away 3/10 the gap, and this is where the ERS and DRS will be deployed for YCN as he charges down to take the race lead in towards turn number 1. He's actually going to hold back, so he picks up DRS for the next corner, but they are side by side. They are battling tooth and nail through turns 1 and 2 as they go through turn number 3 right now. I believe YCN will have... No, it's not. It's going to be Karumli who has DRS. He's going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. Karumli around the outside, YCN down the inside as they still are wheel to wheel, and it looks like YCN is going to get that position, but for how much longer? Remember, the hard tyres are the better tyre to be on right now, as Karumli might have a look in towards turn number 8. No, he's going to sit in behind for the time being. As YCN done it here. Looking at the ERS, Karumli does have an opportunity down in towards turn 14, as he's going to use a bit of ERS right now. He sees the flash of red, and he's going to half go for it in towards turn number 11. Honestly, I would have kept my battery ready to go on the exit of turn 13 down in towards the final corner. You see a little bit of a snap there on the inside curve through turn 13, through turn 12. And now on the exit of 13, he's in the slipstream. He's using his ERS. He's going to potentially look at the inside. He's gone miles to the inside. That's going to tighten up the corner massively. Around the outside goes YCN, and I think that might just about do it. Let's look at this. Nordic Ninja to the line. Nordic Ninja is going to take P2 away from Karumli. And my God, Karumli misses out on the race win. He committed to the inside line, and that was the big mistake there. I think if he goes on the outside, he might have been able to minimum hold on to P2 there, but he ends up losing P2 to Nordic Ninja, as the Rising Lion man does get himself up into P2 in the end. YCN does take the victory, but Nordic Ninja there taking P2 at the end from Karumli. Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. And of course, we had Tiger crossing the line there to take the final points paying position. But yeah, I mean, I think YCN there timed his overtake on Karumli to perfection, was able to get the better run through 2 and 3 to hold on in towards turn number 4, and after that it was just about managing it, squeezing and leaving no space for Karumli to go for the inside. But Karumli did commit to it. He did have a look and he did commit to the inside line, and it just did not work out for him. And of course, with the inside line being as tight as it was for Karumli, it allowed Nordic Ninja to get the run that he needed to take P2 away from the LDL man, as the three of them celebrate on the podium. But let's run you through the order one more time. Is YCN, who takes a victory ahead of Nordic Ninja in second place, Karumli there in third. Now of course we got Lucas in fourth place with GT10's Vita in P5, Leonardo in P6, a good performance from him and his teammate, in fact, both coming from the back of the grid up to P4, P6 respectfully. Plex in P7 with Pablo in P8, Rumsco in P9 with Casper running at the top 10. Now of course we had Chosky, Quartz, Dylan, Alexino, and then of course we had Tiger with the fastest lap. The last of the finishers in 15th place. Our non-finishers were Thomas, Nico, and Thomas Leo here. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, a lot of talking points definitely going to be happening after this race, especially with the carnage that was lap 1. Obviously, a lot of talk in the chat right now about the lap 1 carnage, and yeah, not ideal for absolutely anyone of that. But of course, before we wrap things up here tonight, a quick reminder of the standings here. Of course, it was LDL that lead the way by 11 points coming into tonight. Estonia is gonna Stia, I should say, gonna be closing in a little bit, obviously with the race win here tonight. Of course, reminder of the point system as well. 30 points for the race win, 25 points for second place, 20 points for third, 17 points for fourth place, and then 15 points for P5. And then it goes down in increments of 1 all the way to P19. And then obviously the fastest lap point does come through. And of course, with Tiger picking up the fastest lap in 15th place, it does mean that he picks up 6 points in the end. But that, of course, is how the points system is sorted. Of course, looking at the calendar, Bahrain completed. Round number 8 next week sees us go to Saudi Arabia for the Jeddah Grand Prix. That is where we'll be heading next week. And of course, there's more action here on League Racing TV coming up as well. Of course, we do have Formula 1 going on right now. The lads in F1 are underway, and I will be joining them in just a moment's time, jumping in the commentary booth with the one and only James Head. So make sure you guys jumping over to F1 in just a moment's time. But next week you should have Webbo back in the comms box, and maybe Leslie as well. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, should have Webbo back in the commentary box next week here in F2. And of course, F1 will also be heading to Jeddah next week. Looking at the PC calendar, of course, on Sunday at 7 p.m, the lads in EML PC will, of course, be taken to Bahrain. Will be taken to Jeddah themselves. Of course, they just did Bahrain on Sunday. Of course, they'll be heading to Jeddah for round number 8 next. And of course, guys, the European Esports Championship. Of course, round number 2 at the Spanish Grand Prix happened yesterday, and the next race will be heading to Hungary for round number 3. And of course, a very exciting race yesterday, and of course we will be treated to more exciting races, whether it be in PSF1, PSF2, or of course PCF1, or of course the European Esports Championship. But regardless, guys, that is going to bring an end to the action here in F2. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is, of course, Michael Edwards. I've been taking you through the action, and I will catch you next week for more action on League Racing TV. Until then, guys, it's goodbye from me.